Hi folks, Cyclops FPV here, and today I'll be doing a review on a new model that I've built. This is a 3-inch, and it's a carbon fibre frame. It's a True X, and it runs on 3S batteries. Now let's go through some of the stuff. Right, the frame is a Alpha RC frame. It's 2.5 inch to 3 inch frame with like pressed nuts or captive nuts, whatever you call these. They're pressed at the top there, and you can use 2.5 inch to 3 inch props. They run 25 by 25 mil stack, and which brings me on to the next bit, which is it comes with a battery pad as well, and a battery lead. Motors are generic. They're just like cheapy Darwin FPV type things, but they're only £4 each. So, and I had a few of them, so I used them. I found no problem with the power on them. They're quite good. Bi-blade, I think they're Gem Fan props, or they're HQ. No, I think they're HQ. They were free anyway. The flight stack is a Darwin FPV Fold Ape 4 flight controller, and the difference between that and the normal one is it comes with an SPI ELRS built into it. There you go. It's not a ceramic antenna, it's a proper, it's a proper antenna, so at least that gives you a little bit better range than the ceramic one. Yeah, so that's what that is. And the VTX on top there is like a diamond shape. It's a happy model. I think it's an OX or OV, something like that, 306. And what it is it's an open source firmware made by Jade Smith. He's one of the ELRS devs. He's got I think it's smart audio, and I think it's TBS as well, so it's switchable between the two. I've got that running on a soft serial, which threw me a little bit. Took a few days to sort out. I had to go into presets, and you type in VTX on the presets, and his name comes up straight away. And download the VTX tables, put them on there, and do all your your bits and pieces. This is 400 milliwatts. It's got a capacitor on the back as well, which I heat shrunk. 2 UOTs on there, but they're unused. And the canopy and the camera is it's off a Meteor FPV Meteor 75 Pro, so it's a CO3 analog camera. Yes, I've got analog on this one. Yeah, basically that's, it's a tough old shell. I drilled a hole in the top there for the bleeper. That's a 5-volt bleeper. I've also elongated the hole at the back there for the ELRS antenna, so it wouldn't bounce back and hit the props, because although it's quite away from the props, it can still tilt and hit. So I've built it so it bounces back a little bit. Originally I had the VTX antenna coming out the same hole, but they were so close together, the signal, and as I was having trouble setting up the VTX anyway, I thought maybe that's why, so I put a hot soldering iron through the hole at the front there and just redirected it under there. The battery lead has got a cable tie on the back there to take up the relief, so if in the event of a battery ejection it doesn't rip the wires off the pads. I've also got a sheet there. You get it with the flight board. It's just like to stop the water getting on the flight board underneath, but as it's a bottom mounted battery anyway, that's not likely to happen. I did that to shield the flight controller from the top of these nuts, but as it turned out, I managed to get it quite high up away from them nuts. You know, you can probably see right through it, and same with the VTX. I've got airflow just about going through there. And what I did with the camera, the plug and the wiring loom you get with it is generic. It will only fit the matrix board. So I used the plug and the wiring that you get with the VTX, and just soldered the 3 wires onto the camera. So now it's just plug and play. Basically the whole thing, if I want to strip this down, I can take the whole top off, unplug the VTX, unplug the camera, and boom, we're away. Oh, the only thing that would get in the way would be the buzzer, but I left the wires long enough to get the canopy off to separate it. Yeah, that's about it really. Not too complex of a build. It was the VTX that was the hardest part to set up, but I pre-planned everything before. You know, I put it all together. Soldering was not too bad. All the pads are on top of the board and not at the bottom. You do get plugs with the flight board, but I managed to there wouldn't have been enough room for it to go under the frame, so it's always best to hardwire that anyway. I've tested this. It flies, it hovers, you know. I haven't taken this out for a maiden flight yet, which hopefully will be at the end of this video. Now, what I'll be doing in that, it'll be a shakedown test. So I've got no idea how this flies, whether I'm going to get jello or anything like that, how it's going to perform, whether the tune's any good, because it's got the standard tune that came with the board, which is a fold ape dead cat kind of frame. It's the one with the foldable props, so I don't know whether that tune is going to be suitable for this, but I can do that in CLI if it don't work out, so that's no problem. But yeah, it'll be a shakedown test to see how it flies, you know, flight time, power, and the hover value, because originally this flight board was set up with a GPS, so I had to disable a lot of stuff. CPU is still running quite high, but I've got this at 4K 8K 4K, and it was originally set to 8K 2K, so I might have to do that depending how things go. But as I said, it's just going to be a flight shakedown test, and we'll see what happens from there. I think that's about it really. There's not really much else to say on it. As usual, it's waiting for all the parts to come through the post. That took the time, especially these screws on there, because these are actually 1.4 mil screws, and the holes are actually M2. So yeah, that took a bit of sourcing, and then of course I didn't have the Allen key to undo them, or to do up the nuts, so I had to order that specially. That was a 1.3 mil hex tool, and then it turns out that this motor here, the front left, was burnt out, so I junked that, and then got a new motor delivered fairly quickly and soldered that in. By then this is all configured, and I knew which direction the motors went anyway, so I knew it'd fly. So I just hovered it in my living room, just to make sure everything was okay, and yeah, it's good to go. So on to the flight test. I'll catch you in the next one. Right then, so it's flight test time, and here we go. The first thing we're going to do is a nice slow hover. I've never flown this before, so I've got no idea how it's going to fly. And we seem to be... Oh, there's a bit of a wind. I can feel it blowing. Around about 20% throttle, which is good. Yeah, that's really good. Yep, everything seems to be alright. Nice punch out. That felt okay. No wobbles, or I can't hear no trilling. Seems to be tracking well. I know it's a bit windy up there. There was a bit of wind because I can feel it pushing me towards the tree line, but the actual handling feels really good. Very floaty. Wow, my other one came, that GPS one that I built, that would have come down well quick, but this is really floating down nicely. That's how I like them. It gives you more time to do stunts while you're coming down from a power loop or something like that. That's a bit messy. That was supposed to be an inverted yaw spin, but I actually do a better one in a while after this video. I've linked two videos together. Flight time seemed really good as well. I'm flying some old, I think they're 450 batteries, and I think I was getting about 6 minutes out of them. And they're old. They're really old. They're from like 2017, and they've been abused. And yeah, not doing a great speed test there. It's just, this is more to do with the handling, and yeah, it's really tracking well. It's yeah, see how long it takes to come down. That's really nice. Now I've got quite high rates on this as well, so it's flying it slow and low takes quite a bit of throttle practice. But yeah, it's doing really good. I'm loving it. And this is with bi-blades on there. So obviously I don't know what it'd be like with tri-blades. I know it'll probably turn faster. I thought tri-blades looked a bit odd on this. I don't know, it made the canopy look really small. And I don't know, it just didn't look right. Yeah, this is really handling good. Don't forget, this tune is for a fold ape. You know, a 4-inch fold ape setup, and they got folding arms and a dead cat frame, and this is an X frame. So I was sort of half thinking about putting a CLI from the other one of their other models on there, but no, this is flying really good. I don't think I'll bother with the tune. Now I've only got this set at 25 milliwatts, so I'm not going to go too far. As I said, this is just a shakedown test. It's not worried about distance or anything like that. It was just to see how it handled. Not even really bothered about the battery time. But I'm doing a little bit of everything here. Yeah, see what I mean? Nice hang time, that. Yeah, it's going good. I'm enjoying this. Yeah, just sort of throwing it in different directions, and I don't seem to be getting jello as well. That's the other thing I was testing on. Yeah, it seems to be okay. I think the video after this, it's only a short one. I came down a bit early. It was more sunny, and that's when you want to do jello tests, when it's more sunnier, as it shows up better. The sun decided to go in a little bit on this flight. It did actually rain for a little bit, but, well, I say rain, it spat a little bit. I'm just trying some slow flying because that's where it usually gets tricky. But yeah, it seems to be going good. Now I go really low and I go underneath these trees. As I said, these rates are really high. I've got no expo on it, so it's all very careful throttle control. Yeah, that done it lovely. This is the sort of thing you want to do. You want to test all different scenarios. I really throw the thing about, sort of get it all in tangles, and see how it copes. That's the only way you're going to really dial it all in. But out of the box, I'm surprised. I'm surprised it flies as good as it does. Oh, and another thing to note as well, I think it's my rear prop at the back has got a slight nick in it. So I don't know whether that would affect anything, but it could do with a new prop on there. But I thought, if I'll put it on here in case I crash, at least like I've got a damaged prop already. But it doesn't seem to be making any difference. It's flying spot on. I'm really happy with this. Yeah, it's going really good. What are we on the battery? 6 minutes. Nearly 7 minutes on the battery. Wow. It's even good on that. And as you can see, I'm doing a bit of everything. I do try it in a dive in a bit. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, it pulled out of that nice. The second dive I do, it was blowing me towards the trees because I went quite high, and obviously it's very windy. Right, so this is the second flight. I'll cut a bit out of it because I don't want this video to be that long. But yeah, see, like I've really sort of like trying to throw the tune off balance, and it's just like spot on. I was listening to the tune as well to see if the motors was trilling or anything, but no, it seems smooth. Not bad for cheap motors, and I mean cheap. But yeah, this is going really good. I'm well happy with this. Camera seems alright as well. Obviously, if it was a bit brighter, the sun kept coming in and out. It was a pain in the arse, but I mean, I just wanted to get it done. I didn't want to wait for another day. I'm throwing it through all sorts of twists and turns, and it's handling great. I tried the bleeper as well. I landed about 5 meters away from me, and I could hear the bleeper okay. I'm right next to the A3, so there's quite a lot of traffic down to Portsmouth, and it gets quite noisy, but I managed to hear the bleeper okay. Yeah, I'm going to enjoy flying this one, I think. As I said, like, build your own. It's so much fun. You know exactly what's gone into it, and it's just so much satisfaction. The only pain in the bum is like waiting for all the parts to arrive. Yeah, really good. Really happy with this. Excellent. I'll stick it in angle mode just to so that I'll land nice and level. Yeah, well happy with this. Anyway, folks, that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Wind was blowing me back there a little bit. Yeah, highly recommend building your own. As I said before, it's so much satisfying. Well, that's it. That's the end of the flight. We got a good flight time. Anyway, see you later, guys. Catch you in the next one. Bye.